This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app makes it easy to keep up to date with transfer news, scores and stats all in the one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. The app is free. To watch more of this video, get over and join us on Patreon.
Newcastle. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Beaten at home for the first time in a little bit.
He's won 5 on the run, hasn't he? Yeah.
Newcastle got beat 1-0 by Crystal Palace. Palace getting their 87th penalty of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? 12? Is it 12 penalty of the season? I think it is something like that. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
With 10 minutes to go, but that man's hard again, causing all the danger. You just can't do that in the box. You can't. No. He's so good on his feet. You've just got to hold him up and say, "Well, beat me."
I'd let him go past you because he's not no end product anyway. So you're laughing. Nah, he's a really good footballer.
But he's saying now that he's gotten he doesn't want to leave Palace. He said it again this week.
Well, where's he gonna go?
Well, there's lots of places he could go. But isn't that
I don't think there's anywhere he could go.
I think he could still go to Spurs. I think he could still go to Spurs.
Palace are gonna want 65 million.
No, I think he's got.
He's 27 this year. I thought he was 27 now. 27 this year. He's got loads of ability. He's got good pace and strength about him. But
end product's a problem, and also the amount. I don't know. Doesn't seem to play. It always seems to. Well, he
has spells out.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know. I just think he's gonna be. I think he's just gonna be Matt Letizia.
Probably is, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If he's happy, Palace are never going to do anything more than what they're doing.
They're building a stand.
Okay, well listen, they're a team that has got decent support for where it is in London. A lot of London clubs got decent support. For me, they're always going to bobble around between 14th and 11th. That's where they're going to be. And there's no issue there.
The weird Palace, aren't they? Because you're right what you said. I mean, since they come back, they've bobbled around there. But they never seem to have that season where... Then we just spoke about Burnley, who had that season last season. They never seem to have that season where
they haven't got a good goal scorer. And they haven't got... I don't think the defence will be very good either. I think they've got players in there individually who are all right. So like Sacco on his day can look excellent, and then when you give him the ball, he's horrendous. They've got Tompkins, who
Townsend, who can score the goal of the season, and they never see him again.
Generally, he's not very good. But then I don't know. I think the problem Palace have is the forward players are quite good. Because Townsend can have those days when you look at him and go, it's dangerous here. And you've got Sahar on the other side. Through the middle, you've got Ben Techer, who's been an absolute unmitigated disaster for them. But you think if he can actually get his head together, he's massive. Yeah. And he's a handful. He's a handful.
They've got Batshuayi.
And they've got Michy Batshuayi, who I think is a really good player. But then in the midfield, you're still looking at people like McPartland. And, Milivojevic is a good player.
I mean, you can take a pen, like he did in this game.
Brilliant at taking penalties.
Well, part against us.
Well, yeah. Well, it was a decent pen. It was a great save, to be fair to Pickford. But I don't know. They've got players who you look and think they probably should do a little bit better. Or this is a win. But before this win, people were like, they're not fully out of it. They had 35 points.
They do pick up these wins, though, don't they? They seem better away from home. I think they'd be like Leicester 4-1, and they always they are 3-0. They are a club they're always a threat. They're always a threat. Yeah. And then when some teams play them and wipe the floor with them, and they're a weird team.
I watched them the other week against Brighton at home, and it was like their derby. And Brighton beat them 2-1, and I was like, Murray scored a really good goal against his old club early on, and then you thought he'll come, and they equalised Palace, but there was nothing after the equaliser, and then it ends up with Knockout scored a really good goal to win it, but there was just like nothing about them, and you're looking at them going, you've seen games where there's like blood and thunder from them, and I don't know whether it's Hodgson, just not.
I've heard criticism of Hodgson by some of their supporters who were just like, listen, I don't think Crystal Palace fans are by any means thinking
like demanding
more. They just look at it and go, look at some of our players. How about you just let them off the leash now and again and just see what happens? They're safe and well,
that's a criticism. Liverpool fans levelled that at him. England fans levelled that at him. Is that he's obviously a good coach. He's 70, still doing it in the Premier League. He's kept Palace up, so he's obviously a decent coach. But there's that transition there. And I think the problem Palace will have is, who do you attract there? They tried to change it with the ball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's doing a fine job at Atlanta. They got him at early.
Do you know he hasn't won it? He hasn't won a game for like 4. It's ridiculous because he didn't win any games at Inter.
No.
He didn't win any games at Palace, and he hasn't won anything at Atlanta yet. I don't know. I think it might just be home games. I'm not sure, but it's like you have to go back to when he was at Ajax. Since he's won I think it's a home game. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Weird, isn't it? So obviously something's not right, and thank God we didn't get him. I thought it would be a good sign for us after Ajax. Oh my God. So I don't really know what they do, Palace, because I don't know who they could go and get who will change the way they kind of play. Do they want to change the way they play? But with those front players, you want an attacking coach, I suppose. But I don't know. But I mean, listen, that win keeps them up. You know, I think they would have stayed anyway. They're too good to go down. But it was they only had 35 points at the weekend, and Cardiff have got 1 or 2 games in hand on them. So it could have got a little bit sticky for them. But that win was done enough to keep them up. So hopefully they can lie down now for Man City next week.
Yeah. Have a real nice lie down.
Yeah, just chill out for this game.
And stay there for when we come.
Stay there
when
we come. Just chill out. Win away and don't win any home games. That's the best thing to do.